212. Hello, good morning, good evening. Let me pop out this stream here, or pop out the chat. So today is Wednesday, April 8th, 2020. Today's topic is how to break in the industry, how to break into the movie poster biz, how to, where to apply. Really, that's what I want to talk about. How to get your work out there, where to apply, and some ways that you can get interviews and potentially get work. I'll talk about my experience and some things that have worked for others that I know. And if you're joining me live, let me know where you're watching from, calling from, viewing from. Oops. What time is it where you are? I'm getting the chat window open here. Okay, here we go. So in the last episode, we talked about market rates and basically how much to charge. So let's talk about how to break in, where to apply. Well, you're gonna have to have a portfolio and get your work out there. So where can you apply? Well, before we talk about where, let's talk about how. Let's talk about how. um, there's two ways that I know of um, is to direct email or contact. The second way is by referral. So, oh, I hope I spelled that right. That would be so embarrassing. Am I close? Two R's. Two R's. Let's try that again. Try that again. Two R's. Good thing I'm an artist and not a Sharpie marker writer. So the how is direct contact. And number two is referral. There we go, two R's. So who you know, referral is who you know, right? You know someone in the biz, someone's working at a studio or a company, and you say, hook me up, my friend. Or direct email. You just say, hey, I don't know, you don't know me. I'm just gonna hit you up, and both of these work obviously. And actually, there's a third. I'm just gonna put this down here. Some kind of portfolio review. So Either you hit them up directly, cold email, cold phone call. You don't do phone calls nowadays, so it's going to be a cold email. You know someone in the biz who can hook you up. Um, Third is some kind of portfolio review. An example would be this. I don't know if there's a movie poster place, but let's say Comic Con, because I actually got a job at long time ago at 2001 Comic Con. Comic Con's a big is a big it's a huge convention. Probably if you're watching this, you know it. And they do portfolio reviews at Comic Con, and I got a job offer at an advertising agency. And it wasn't easy or pretty, but yeah, it can work. So, direct email referrals and portfolio review. Basically, hit them up cold. You know someone, or you go to some place where a bunch of artists and directors are looking at portfolios. So this is more rare, but it has happened. Now, I personally went this route. I just got a bunch of companies' emails. Went to their website, got their email, and boom, 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 boom. I just shot out like 20, 25 emails. Um, and I kept track too because I was very, very curious about if it was viable. That's what, and the reason why I did this because my, I had a mentor at the time, Mark Westermo. Fortunately, I'm grateful when he was still alive. I was in Los Angeles and I was able to spend a lot of time with him. And he said, you know what? Get your portfolio together and just hit him up. That's what he told me to do. And I was like, okay, hit him up. So I did. Now he got his break by referral. One of his friends, God, I forgot his name now. One of his friends is also an excellent draftsman. Um, Referred Mark, so Mark got in by referral, and that person, um, according to Mark's story, got his break by meeting Drew Struzan at a freaking art store in L.A. So, okay, I can't corroborate that story, but it's it's it is possible because I know what art store they're referring to. There was one in I forgot the name now, but it's on a big street called Laurel Canyon, and that street it runs up and down through a bunch of studios and and um, and homes through the suburbs of Hollywood. So all of the it's basically the art store where and it's also in it's close to the DreamWorks, the Nickelodeon animation studios. So basically, this art store is like where all of the local animators, illustrators, any artist that's working in the animation or movie business goes to this art store. So I do believe that story to be true. Now, referral. So that's one example of referral. Mark got his break by referral. Um, I know two people off the top of my head who got their break because they knew someone. They knew a production manager. Let me see if I can have my slide here. So remember this slide a couple weeks ago, a couple of days ago, actually, last week. We talked about all of the creative positions. So these are all people, and there's, you know, every studio I went to, they had a bunch of these. So let's say there's God, off the top of my head, I would have to say 10. The last place I went to, in house, they had 10 of these when I was there. 10 of these people, production managers, uh, at least 10 designers, junior and senior, maybe 5 ADs, and one chief honcho, one director. So it's 20 people and illustrator. So there's a handful of these guys too, like me. Maybe someone like me might be able to hook you up. So I know two people off the top of my head, two young artists that I know personally, who got their break because they had a friend who was a production manager. Because there's so many of them, and production managers aren't necessarily artists, so of course, they don't feel like they need to compete with you or anything like that. And production managers, they tend to be, more the outgoing type people, more outgoing type. They tend to have big networks. And production managers are constantly looking for these guys, which is when you do this, you're actually contacting cold a production manager. That's what I did. When I sent out a bunch of emails, the person who reads those emails from a cold artist, hey, I'm an artist. I can draw Tom Cruise. Hey, give me a job. That's who's reading those emails. This is the person who contacted me, is the production manager. So I hope that makes sense. So you can do both. Obviously, I'm going to talk briefly about this. Um, Direct contact and how to go about doing that. And the referral. The referral. Because you may be like, well, damn, Chris, I'm a shy, introverted artist. I don't know anybody. I just sit at home and draw, and maybe I go to art class once in a while, but I really don't talk to anybody. I'm kind of shy. That's okay. That's okay. There are ways, my friend. So let's take a quick little break here. I'm gonna grab some water. And by water, I mean coffee. Let me jump in the chat. All right, Chris. So let's 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 break down kind of what I did. So if you have your portfolio ready and you want to hit some people up, let's break that down. Hit them up. Hit them up. I'm still shocked that. Oh, let me grab my Instagram. This might. Oh, it's on my phone. Never mind. Never mind. All right, how to break in. And we got direct email, direct contact process. So you might be like, Chris, who do I email? Who do I contact? Well, you can just hit up the top 5 companies. And the number one, I believe, in terms of size, it's called BLT Communications. I'll just give you the companies. BLT Communications, Art Machine is a huge company, and so there you go. If you Google those two, others will pop up. Go to their website and find the contact email. Believe it or not, somebody will read it. I know it sounds crazy because these aren't like gigantic corporations like like a Microsoft or a Google. There's not these aren't like hundreds of thousands of people. These are small little shops. I would say 50 people or less in the places where I've been. And to find more companies, you could uh, Google Key Art Awards. I believe they also have an Instagram. There's also a thing called the Clio Awards. That's essentially what a movie poster is the key art. I'm Googling Key Art Award winners right now. See who comes up. And a lot of these emails that I initially found, I got by Googling BLT Communications. Art Machine popped up. Also, I also met a man named Tomas Opazinski. He he's an art director at Netflix now. So he's a poster artist. He does finishes. I believe he did the Oblivion poster to Tom Cruise. I'm Googling movie posters, Los Angeles. Now, now, the one caveat of direct email, and actually this whole kind of business is if you're really serious about working and getting your break, um, you probably, you will most likely have to live in Los Angeles. Now, there are other markets. India, obviously, India makes more movies than anyone in the world um, in terms of volume. South Korea has a high volume of movies. So does London in the UK. So I can't speak from firsthand experience, but um, if you're don't live in LA, if you're in one of those other regions, UK and India, I don't know if anyone watching this, do you know where movies are made in India? I honestly don't know. So those may be other places, but if you're gonna do a direct email process, um, you will most likely have to live in LA to get your break. So, what's another way that we can do direct email? Well, this is related to the next topic. Is we can go to LinkedIn. You're like LinkedIn? What the hell? That's for um, that's for accountants and CEOs, right, Chris? That's for business people. I'm jumping on my LinkedIn right now. That's what I thought too. But then, forgive me 1 second, logging into my LinkedIn. Another way you can find emails to contact is follow Mike Butkus on Facebook. So Mike Butkus is the most prolific. God, I keep mentioning him like 10 times every video. You can tell I idolize the guy. Um, if you follow him on Facebook, right, every couple days he'll post some past movie poster work. And he'll say, "Oh, this is from Art Machine. Oh, BLT. Oh, Bond. BOND is another company. Is that five? BOND. So you follow him, you'll know like where he's working. So wherever he works, they hire sketch artists. And I've worked in three places in house. Oh, I've been to three places in house. And his drawings were hanging on the wall, all three of them. So, huh. Oh, LinkedIn is being silly right now. Oh my God. So what I would do is go to LinkedIn and look up these companies. So let's say BLT Communications. There we go. Marketing and advertising. I'm typing in BLT Communications in the LinkedIn. Boom. They got a ton of posters. And then on the side, boom, on the side there's a sidebar called similar pages. Bond, Trailer Park, which is Art Machine. Trailer Park and Art Machine merged. You might see this Trailer Park. They had a merger, so Art Machine is the parent company now. Trailer Park is huge. Oh my God, yeah. On the sidebar of BLT Communications LinkedIn page, there's one, two, three, four, five, six companies. Nice. There you go. There you go. Just do that. And I would also, let's just for fun, let's punch in Art Machine in the LinkedIn. Art Machine. Okay, I just punched in Art Machine on the LinkedIn. Let's see on the sidebar. Boom. Another company that's on there. Two more companies. So there you go. That's hit them up. Hit them up. So the LinkedIn is and the reason why I bring up LinkedIn, this is so crazy, is because I was like you. I was like, what the hell? LinkedIn's for accountants and fucking lawyers, right? Ain't no artists on damn LinkedIn. Wrong. Wrong. I was so wrong. You know who turned me on to damn LinkedIn was Mike Butkus. He was like, I asked Mike, I was like, hey, Mike, how do you get work? He's like, yeah, people hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm like, God damn it. I was like, God damn it. Because I had just been doing this. I had just been going online and hitting up companies cold. You know what I mean? I had no idea that LinkedIn was so robust. So if you don't have a LinkedIn, it's free. Set it up right now. Set it right now. And yeah, so what you do is you go to the company's website, find them on LinkedIn or on Google, go to their website, and shoot them a link to your portfolio. Mine is postersketch.blogspot.com. At the time, I didn't even put my portfolio on my domain because my domain is Draw with Chris, right? It's more of an education company. I got hired with a fucking blog spot, a free blog URL. Unbelievable. Um, so do that. Step one. I'm just gonna write this here. Step one. Set up a banging portfolio. Set up a banging portfolio. The key word is banging. Number two, find companies. Their agencies, their advertising agencies. Find ad agencies. Number three, hit them up. Hit them up. Send them a link. Send send them your link. And this is exactly what I did. This is exactly what I did. I set up a banging portfolio. I found a bunch of emails of agencies, and then I hit them up. I just sent them a link. Um, and I could share you my exact email. It basically said, "Hi, my name is Chris. I'm a sketch artist. I have some experience. Here's my portfolio. Have a nice day." Done. Believe it or not, that worked. So let's pause for a minute here, and then I'm going to talk about referrals, and we'll go back to LinkedIn a little bit. So let me check the chat box here. Anybody watching live? Oh, I hope my audio is working. Anybody watching live? How's my audio today? Oh, Mr. Spartan's here. Yes, Morgan Weisling. Mor- Morgan Weisling. Thank you for that, Jawad. In the chat said Morgan Weisling. He's a fantastic artist trained in the Riley School by Fred Fixler. And according to Mark, Morgan Weisling, fantastic artist, was working at an art store. I know the one. It's in Laurel Canyon. Is it the one in Laurel? There's two. There's one in Laurel Canyon, and there's one in Laurel Canyon. Is this big main vine? See, here's a place called. I'm going to draw Hollywood. So here's Hollywood, the city of Hollywood, and the Hollywood sign is here. That sign you see in the pictures is here. Here's what's called Studio City. There's some studios here. There's some obviously in Hollywood proper. And here's a street. And there's a place called Burbank, Glendale. And here in Burbank, Glendale is where all the animation is. So Disney, DreamWorks. Well, DreamWorks is not there anymore. So animation, right? Nickelodeon is here. And there's a street that connects Hollywood proper to Burbank, Glendale, and that's Laurel Canyon. So Laurel Canyon is a street, right? And right between Burbank, Glendale, Hollywood proper, and Studio City, there's an art store here. So you can imagine, there's a friggin' art store here. Anybody can go there. So you can imagine how many professionals, you know what I'm saying? How many professionals go here? So if someone tells me, "Hey, I met a famous artist," "Hey, I met famous artist," "I met Drew Struzan at an art store," that's not that's that's believable. If someone told me, "Hey, I met Steven Spielberg here, I would not be surprised, you know. Or oh, I saw George Lucas coming out of this art store. I don't know why he would be there, but you know what I'm saying. So there's a vine, there's a major street called Laurel Canyon, connects Hollywood proper to Burbank, Glendale, the animation. So if someone told me they met Drew Struzan working at this art store, that's not that's 100% believable. So anyway, that's an aside. So Drew Struzan is um, the arguably the greatest movie poster artist ever. He's the Michael Jordan of this business, right? So Morgan Weisling met him at a fucking art store, and he showed him his portfolio. Unbelievable story. I'm gonna have to take Mark's word for it, but if that's true, then that's like a dream scenario. Everybody who comes to Hollywood, including me, has that dream like, oh, I'm gonna meet a famous artist. Oh, I'm gonna meet Steven Spielberg. Oh, I'm gonna meet somebody famous, and they're gonna discover me. So that is a very fantastical story, and if it's true, I hope it's true. That's great. But the beautiful thing about that story is because Morgan Weisling was working in the poster biz, he referred Mark Westermo. So Mark Westermo got here by referral. And Mark Westermo was one of the most successful he was one of the most successful guys working at the time. If he was alive today, he would be he would be one of the top guys. If he's as fast as he claims he is, based on the quality of his work, and he has that hand drawn pencil look. Remember yesterday, I said that hand drawn pencil look is what gets you the big bucks. He would be alive. And Mark Westmo had a ton of students, mentees. He mentored a lot of people, including me, and they're all out there. Mentee, student, right? And they're all floating around. I'm one of them. Kevin Chen is one of them. Kevin Chen is deeply connected. Kevin Chen. He teaches at a school called Concept Design Academy. So you might want to build a relationship with him. And that brings me to segue to referral. So referral is obviously who you know, right? Like I said, I know personally two people, they're two young ladies who got their break in the poster business because they knew an AD, production manager. Now, both of these young ladies, they live in LA, they live in Hollywood, so they have that luxury. So Chris, but you're like, I don't know anybody. I'm just a shy artist. What do I do? What do I do, Chris? Well, let's talk about ways to reach out, and this is something that I love talking about because this is never talked about enough. And we'll close here because portfolio review really portfolio review is so rare. I put portfolio review there because that's what happened to me. And the company that I got hired by, they stopped doing portfolio reviews. That was their first and only time. It's way too difficult. And um, I just don't know of anybody in the poster biz who gets hired that way anymore. So let's talk about referrals. Referral is a fancy word for who you know. So, so Chris, I don't know anybody. How can I get a referral, Chris? Help me. What do I do? Hook me up, Chris. All right. So, remember the chain. Remember the chain. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 people you kind of want to get to know, right? and who you should know. So I would say the number one person to get to know are production managers, because they're the ones that email you. Production managers. They're the ones that are gonna. They're the ones that. If you send a cold email, like we did in step one, send a cold email. They're the ones that are gonna be reading your email. Number two, the ADs, art directors. Now there's way fewer of them. Way fewer. Maybe if there's 10 production managers, there might be two or three or four art directors, right? But they have way more influence because the production manager is going to get your cold email, right? Step one, send out your cold email with your banging portfolio. The production manager is going to look at your email and be like, "Oh, this portfolio is banging. I'm not an artist. Let me let me talk to my art director." Then he's going to make the final say. Like, "All right, bring that guy in. Bring that guy in," meaning you're going to get your break. So there's fewer of these guys, but they have a lot more pull. Designer. There's a lot of these guys. They're the guys that actually they give you the thumbnails, right? They're designers. There's a lot of them, but they, I don't want to sound like a dick, but they don't have much pull. They don't really decide on the sketch artist that comes in. This guy decides. The AD decides. So, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't get to know a designer. Heck yeah. In fact, when I was working, the last studio I worked at, I get to talk in house. I get to talk to a lot of designers. We talk at the coffee table, we talk at the water cooler, and they're all, most of them are really cool. They're like, "Oh, Chris, I heard you were in Thailand," and we talk, and you know what I always ask them? I go, "Yeah, I'm looking for some work. What's up? Hook me up. I'm trying to get some referrals." So I say, "Yeah, I'm looking for some work. Where have you been? What? Woot woot woot." And they always give me like three or four contacts. I'm like, "Damn, this is awesome." So you should you should get to know designers. And the number four, obviously, is the pro artist. Is the pro artist. So these are the people you should get to know in this order. In this order. Um, so Chris, how do I don't know any of these people. How do I find them? Well, let's break that down. I think I think there's basically if I was brand new, if I was brand new in the game, let's say, unfortunately the world situation is historically we're in a historic world situation now. Let's let's say the world was healthy and the movie business was running healthily, like it was. You know, let's say the world is healthy again. Movie business is running healthily, and I was brand new, and I didn't know anybody in Hollywood. First thing I would do is I would pop onto LinkedIn. Second thing I would do is take in-person classes or go to Life Drawing. In-person classes are expensive. So to be honest, when I first moved to Hollywood, I was broke as shit. I was a broke, I was a struggling artist at one time. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. I feel you. So, but Life Drawing is cheap. In LA, you can get a Life Drawing for 15 US dollars, maybe 25 US dollars at expensive one. And if you go to the right ones, um, there's one in Los Feliz, a very famous Life Drawing run by Jennifer McChristian. Uh, Professionals go here, Los Feliz Life Drawing. So I would do that. Number two. And number three, I would hit up professionals. Oops. I would hit them up. Hit up professionals. And all of these, they kind of work together. They're kind of a synergistic. This is what I would do. This is what I would do to get referrals. So obviously for LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn, as we saw, if you just punch in BLT Communications, Art Machine, Trailer Park, if you punch in this company name on the sidebar, you'll find other companies and you'll find the people who work there. So I would just get a list of their names and I would hit them up. Um, because production managers, let me get another color here. Production managers are on LinkedIn. Art directors are on LinkedIn. Um, Other professionals are on LinkedIn. Pro artists are on LinkedIn. You know what I'm saying? Designers are on LinkedIn. So hit them up. Hit them up, add them. You know, they may not respond. I get it. I probably wouldn't either. You know what I mean? So um, add them on LinkedIn and make sure you keep your portfolio banging. Stay active, post a lot of your work. LinkedIn is just like Facebook or Instagram. You can post your work. In fact, I would argue it's a more uncharted territory because Instagram is super noisy. Facebook is even noisier than Instagram. And we all know if you're watching this, you probably have an Instagram and Facebook, and you know how damn noisy Facebook is. It's impossible to, you have to scroll through a bunch of noise to get to a good feed, a good post. So LinkedIn is much less noisy. So this is uncharted territory, and I wish I spent more time in here. Honestly, I mean, I'm, I, you know, I a much later stage, but I'm gonna get on here. I'm gonna get on here. I'm starting to get on here now. So LinkedIn has all of these. So um, I would, friend add these people as many as possible. But obviously the caveat is you need a tight professional, a tight and professional profile. So I'm going to circle that because that's important. You're going to have a tight and professional profile. And that is free, right? That doesn't cost money. That just takes a little bit of intelligence. And when I say professional, I mean, don't put yourself wearing a fucking tank top in your main photo, for God's sake. If you look at my photo, I'm wearing a dress shirt and a jacket. I mean, you don't have to do that, but you know what I'm saying? No tank top. Don't put yourself holding a beer can, for God's sake. You know, make it tight. Make your face clear. None of this obscured face, none of this drawing said clear face. Clear face. Even mine, I would say, needs my face is a little small. I may change it. Then you're gonna say, "Oh, Chris, Mike Butkus has a drawing. Drew Struzan's profile is a drawing." I'm like, "Motherfucker, are you Mike Butkus?" The answer is no. Until you get there, then put a clear face. Anyway, so make a tight ass profile on LinkedIn, and then add these people, and then keep your profile current and fresh. Post your work. Post your work and your videos. This is what I would do if I was brand new to the industry. The world was healthy. Given that we're in a healthy situation, I would pop in here and I would hit up. I would be really active on LinkedIn, post my work, and I would post videos. So let's take a quick break. Um, I know I talk a lot here. Hello, Luke. Thank you for joining us. Also, Jawad says, "Need a job right now, but I feel insensitive or guilty for sending my work to famous frames. I know it's probably in my head." Yeah, Luke. Excuse me, not Luke. Jawad. I am with you, Jawad. This is such a historically weird, unfortunate, tragic time we're in. Um, and to be honest, I don't know the health of the movie poster biz. I'm I spoke to Mike Butkus recently. He said his work is drying up, and he's getting less work. So if he's getting less work, you know what that means. So I don't know about now. I don't know about now. All right, so let's get back to how much time we got. I don't want it to. Okay, we got 46 minutes. Damn, I always talk too long. All right, so in-person class. So assuming that the world is healthy, take an in-person class, and I would go to Concept Design Academy. That's the number one place I would go to. Kevin Chen owns it. Remember, Kevin Chen is well connected. I mean, he may not be your friend or whatever, but um, you know, you you can be a kick-ass student. You know, you can get noticed. You can help out with the studio, whatever, whatever. And professionals will be teaching. Mark Westermo taught there, and Mark Westermo refers his students. I mean, you know, I was his mentee, and through him, I met. I didn't meet, but you know, he referred me. He gave me a bunch of personal emails to to contact. And here's another school, Nomon. Now, Nomon doesn't teach poster art, um, but they do have these workshops from time to time where like top professionals come in. I'm trying to think. They had like for example, forgive me if I'm wrong, but when Endgame, Avengers Endgame wrapped up, they had VFX artists come in and give a presentation. They do that like once a month. They'll invite the top industry professionals to come in and teach a workshop at Nomon. So, and I believe they're free. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe they're free and open to the public. They also have ones exclusively for their students, their enrolled students. And I was a teacher there when I lived in Hollywood. I taught character design and digital painting there. So I got to see a lot of these workshops. And the reason why I bring up Nomon, Concept Design Academy, it's not free. The classes are about $500 for a 10-week class. So I would hit them up. And they also have life drawing. That's another place that has life drawing. Nomon has workshops. And Nomon, I met Tomas Opazinski. Tomas Opazinski gave a workshop, like a 2-3 hour workshop on movie posters and key art. Unbelievable. It was like incredible timing because at the time I was putting together my banging portfolio. And you know, Mark was still alive. I was living in LA. I was spending time with Mark, drawing with him, getting advice from him. And then Tomas Obazinski gave he's one of the top directors at Netflix. He gave a presentation at Nomon. I believe it was free. I believe it was free because I wasn't working at Nomon at the time. So Nomon in Hollywood again. This is, you know, you probably have to live in LA, and who knows when they'll reopen. But that's an option, and the life drawing is an option. I would start with the Los Feliz life drawing. Go to Concept Design Academy. You'll meet professionals. I when I was going to Concept Design Academy regularly, their life drawing. It's on Sunday. I met Jamie Jones. I met Jamie Jones. Jamie Jones. He's you know, some of you probably know him or following him. He's an incredible concept artist, most famous for games, but he also does movies. And when I met Jamie Jones, he was working on Man of Steel. He's working on Man of Steel. So maybe, you know, I couldn't parlay into a movie job, but through him, I could start to right get. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Builds in, and that leads me to number three, is to hit up professionals. So how do you hit up professional? Well, you don't do this. Don't say, "Hey, um, can you look at my portfolio?" For God's sake, don't do that. Or, "Hey, check out my Instagram." Or, "Hey, can you give me some advice?" Don't do any of these things. No, 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 no. For God's sake, don't don't say, "Hey, hey, look at me, help me." Okay, so the fundamental problem with that is is well, I don't want to say forget about the problem. The right thing to do is to add value first. And I think this is one of the biggest lessons. Add value first. Now, what the hell does that mean? Well, some of these professionals, they teach at CDA. Some of them may teach at Nomon, like I did, right? So take their class. Take their class. Take their class. Add value first. Some of them have online videos and products, like myself. Mike Butkus has Mike Butkus has Mike Butkus has a Gumroad, believe it or not. So buy his Gumroad, check it out, write him a review. That's what I did. That's what I did. I mean, you know I was able to name drop, but I bought Mike Butkus Gumroad like a long time ago. And then I wrote a review for him. I said, "Hey, Mike, I enjoyed your Gumroad. Here's a review I wrote for you. Have a nice day." And he was like so happy. He was like, "Wow, thank you. I really appreciate the review." So I'm like, I add value first. And I was fortunate enough to when I became professional, it became easier to contact him. Obviously, um, Mark Westermo, one of the top poster artists of the '90s. Um, I took his class. He was teaching privately out of his home. So I went to his house, paid some money, and I took his class. I took his class. So what are you like? Well, Chris, I live in India. Chris, I live in the UK. What do I do? How do I get to know these professionals? How do I add value? Well, this is something we all can do. How do you hit up a professional properly? Well, right away, you can leave thoughtful comments. Right away. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm sure you're following professionals you admire on Instagram, right? Um, that's what I do. Leave thoughtful comments. One of my favorite artists right now, his name is Ben Oliver. He's a banging, my God, I I freaking worship this guy. Ben Oliver. He's a UK based. I believe he does posters, but he also does comics covers mostly. So I follow Ben Oliver. He's got like 250,000 million followers. How do I stand out? I leave a thoughtful comment. I don't say, "Awesome. Yeah, great." I go, "Wow, I really enjoyed the way that the shadow pattern of, adds to the likeness. It really adds punch." Or, "I admire the way," or you go, "Oh, that likeness is so strong. I can really feel the emotion." You know what I'm saying? Leave a fucking thoughtful. You know how to do this. Don't just say awesome, cool. Leave a thoughtful comment, and you will get noticed. They won't be your friend, but over time, this takes time. This takes time, unfortunately. That's one thing you could do. So you could buy their products, leave thoughtful comments. And if you hit them up, this is more advanced. If you hit them up, offer your labor. I do this all the time. Oh, let me say one more story. James Gurney. I wanted to get to know James Gurney. So what did I do? James Gurney has a ton of video products to buy. They're like 15 bucks, no biggie. I bought one of James Gurney's products. I made my own detailed review. You know, he didn't ask me to do it, and then I emailed him, said, "Hey James, I bought your video course. I made this review, and I'm an affiliate for you. You can be an affiliate. That's one way to offer labor. You can be an affiliate, which is you get a commission for promoting their products." I said, "Hey, I'm an affiliate for you. I promote your products. Have a nice day." And he wrote me back. And then, I continued to do this. I didn't, when he wrote me back, I didn't say, "Oh, hey, James Gurney, let me check out my portfolio. Give me some advice." No, no, I said, "Is there anything else I can do? What can I do? Offer labor." And offer labor, whatever you're good at, offer to do it for them. Let's say, if you're a young person like me, I mean, not like me, I'm in my 40s. If you're a young person and you want to get to know a top professional, and maybe you know TikTok, maybe you know how to use TikTok. Say, "Hey, you know what? I can help you promote your book, your product on TikTok, or I can help you, whatever." I don't know. This is a long topic, but hopefully that makes some sense. So you add the value first, and over time you build a relationship. Um, but anyway, that's I've probably been talking way too long here. So the short answer is, I think anyone can do this who's serious, is to build your LinkedIn profile. These two, if you're probably only reserved for those who live in Los Angeles, and these three, this one is we can all do this, but this takes the most time. Building a relationship takes time. All right, I hope that's helpful. And all of this was for someone who doesn't have a big network of referral. If you want, referrals are powerful. They will help you get your first job. I know firsthand it does. But if you don't, this is what I would do. This is what I would do to build my network of professionals, of production managers you want to get to know. They're probably the most important person to get to know. Next would be art directors, and then designers and professionals. I would say of this list, you want to get to know these guys. Now you can build your referral. You can get to know them on LinkedIn, or you can just hit them up. That's what I did. I just hit them up. Where's that other slide? I just hit them up. I hit them up. I found a bunch of companies, got their email, and I hit them up. And to hit them up, the key to hitting them up is unfortunately this. So this is a prerequisite to this discussion, but I'm assuming you already have a banging portfolio. That's what I would do. I would hit them up. Hit them up. Hit up these three. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. Right there. You got 4. Oh, that's 3. Go to LinkedIn. Find 10, 15, 20 more. Hit them up. And don't stop until you get a call back. If you don't get a call back, guess what? Your portfolio is probably not banging enough. If it's not banging enough, go to strategy 2. Get some damn referrals, and keep working. You want to keep working on the banging portfolio, and then, you know what I mean. This is not easy. It's not magic. It's not magic. It just takes a little bit of work. But that's what I would do. All right, I'm going to stop the stream here. Thank you for watching. Let me pop over to the questions. Tiago says, Hi, Chris. Do you always work in house or can you work remotely? I work remotely now, but I built that relationship over time. That's a great question. So Tiago says, do you have to work in house? The answer is yes and no. So do you have to, well, that's not necessarily true. Okay, so when I've worked for 5 agencies now. One, two, I worked in house. Six, sorry. Four, 100% remote. Now, is it six or seven? Now, um, the top agencies, this is just from my experience. The top agencies, the BLT, the Art Machine, for sure Art Machine won't, and Bond, they they will not hire you freelance at first. You have to come in. You, the director will want to meet you. He'll want to meet you. He'll want to test you out in person. Because if you think about it, um, the the material they're sending you is very sensitive, right? Remember we talked about $10 million movie poster campaign, advertising campaign. You're going to get artwork. You're going to get photography. You're going to get movie stills, possibly trailers, and early cuts of a big budget $1 million movie, and you're gonna expect them to give it to you when you live in Brazil, Italy, South Africa. No, that's not gonna happen. You're gonna they're gonna they're gonna want they're not gonna send that sensitive stuff to you unless they trust you, and you can't build the trust unless they see you in person. Let's hope that makes sense. Now, smaller company will. I've gotten one, two, three, four. I've gotten four paid jobs from four agencies, 100% by email. I never met them in person. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but those four, I don't get work regularly. In fact, I've only gotten work for them um, my first year. My second year all came from when I moved out of the U.S. It all came from the people who had already built trust with, who had already been there in person. Hope that helps. That's a great question. Maybe I'll talk about that more in the future. Ganbaro. Hi, Chris. I'm not looking to break in the movie poster, but I love your work. You have a lot of valuable insights and knowledge offered that's transferable to other industries. Oh, man, that is an incredible comment, man. Thank you so much. Ganbaru. Ganbaru. Yeah, I agree. I agree because I don't want to sound like like I'm blowing up my own head, but I purposely make content that is it's not just what I'm trying to teach is thinking really. If you some of you have probably been following me for a while. Yeah, I draw figures and faces and celebrities now in posters, but what I'm really trying to get you to do is to think. I'm trying to teach a way of thinking, and thinking is good for everybody. Man, thank you, Gunbaru. That's an awesome comment. I really appreciate that. Let me know in the comments below, Gunbaru, what industries are you interested in? Anybody watching this, either live on replay, maybe you're not interested in working in movie posters, but where do you want to break in, or where do you want to work? Comment below. Jawad says, brainstorm CDA, illustrators of, man, Jawad is Safe House. These are all schools in LA. I recommend all of them, all schools I attend and recommend. Also, Will Weston teaches online. Yeah, Will Weston's an anatomy teacher. I believe he's still at Art Center. Art Center is like the 4 year. If you got 4 years and you got, $1 million sitting in the bank somewhere, I would go to Art Center, or $500,000. Yeah, Brainstorm is great. I would go to Brainstorm for if you want, and Brainstorm is great. I would go to Brainstorm personally if I want to learn entertainment design. They don't do so much movie poster work, may, maybe I can contact them. That's not a bad idea. And Safe House is a place. Safe House is great if you want to bang on your fundamentals. You want to get the realism. So thank you, Jawad, for that comment. So I really appreciate you guys being online. I know, God, I always talk way too long. I hope this is helpful. And tomorrow I'm gonna talk about design. I haven't. I'm gonna. Tomorrow's stream will be at a later time. It'll be 11 a.m. for me. Oh, I'm not sure when I'm gonna put it. Actually, I might put it later. Um, but I will stream tomorrow. The next topic will be design. So I'm going to share some ways. I'm going to go back to drawing, share some ways to design a poster. And that's it. Thank you for joining me. Stay healthy. I hope that this video and others like me can, in a small way, help you to make the most of your time, make the most of your day. If you're healthy and you have the luxury and freedom to draw, I hope that this can help you in some way. And let's get out there and help other people. Help other people. Help our communities, help our neighbors. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Stay healthy, stay sane, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.